Seth Rollins fans, I got some bad news for you in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I am talking about because Seth Rollins is coming off of a very newsworthy weekend with WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, right? First night, main event. Second night, opener, right? Everyone has wondered, though, what is next for Seth Rollins? And for now, it's not good. So I wanted to discuss it coming off of a new report. If you look at Seth Rollins' career over the last year or so, it's been night and day compared to where he had been under the leadership of Vince McMahon. It's night and day what it's like under Triple H as well. Because when Triple H took over main roster creative in the summer of 2022 following the hush money scandal with Vince McMahon, Seth was kind of lost on the main roster, right? He had this over-the-top heel persona that years before he had been treading water. Like, his pandemic run sucked. But then he got into the feud with Cody Rhodes. That was good. That was under, Triple H's / Vince McMahon's leadership. They did something well with Seth because of Cody. Let's be honest there. So you got to give Vinnie Mac credit on that, although he's just a piece of crap outside of the booking world. But, okay, they did something there. Then that summer, he had a very interesting feud. And they went on and they went on and they went on. Finally, 2023, he gets the world title. He's turned babyface. And it's like, oh, this is so great. If you recall his run in 2019, when he was a Universal Champion and he was on fire, he was a really good babyface. And then he met Bray Wyatt as the Fiend in that Hell in a Cell match, and everything went to crap, right? So you see Seth Rollins transition into this world champion again as a babyface and just being Seth Rollins with a little bit of that over-the-top element. And he had a very, very good run, right? He feuded with Drew McIntyre. He feuded with Nakamura. Had a really good feud. And it looked like he wasn't going to make WrestleMania because he suffered an injury in January while working, of all people, Jinder Mahal on an episode of Monday Night Raw. But luckily, he made it to Mania, and what a Mania it was. WrestleMania 40, he teams up with Cody Rhodes to take on then undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, and The Rock. They lose. That match sucked. It sucked. It went way too long, but the last 20 minutes or so was actually pretty good. It just shows you that Attitude Era Wrestling doesn't hold up compared to today's athletic standpoint, right? Some people will like that, some people won't, some people will agree, some people won't. The following night, WrestleMania Night 2, opener, he defends the world title against Drew McIntyre. It was a spot fest. It was a finisher spamming match, but it was pretty good. And he loses. Drew McIntyre wins the World Heavyweight title. He gets into CM Punk's face. Punk lays him out. Damian Priest comes out, cashes in Money in the Bank, wins the world title from Drew McIntyre. Fast forward, Monday Night Raw, Fallout episode from WrestleMania 40. There's no Becky Lynch. There's no Seth Rollins. What's going on here? Well, here's the bad news, y'all. Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Seth Rollins is taking time off from WWE television. He won't be on TV. He won't be at live events. He won't be making dark match appearances. Nothing. He's gone. Now, it is due to the leg injury, the knee injury that he suffered, that he's been really battling through, right? He had to take time off. He got medically... See, here's the thing. People forget about this. When he suffered that injury against Jinder Mahal in January, he was sidelined, and there was a legitimate concern that he may not work Mania. He was originally supposed to work CM Punk. Obviously, Punk got injured, tore his triceps in the men's Royal Rumble match while duking it out with Drew McIntyre. That's a shoot. And when that changed and Rollins was dealing with his own injury, it's like, man, what are they going to do? So they put Drew in there. And we knew that Rollins was going to lose the world title heading into Mania. I knew that. You knew that. Everybody all knew that, right? They had pushed Drew so much to the point where he said that if he doesn't win the world title, he would leave WWE amidst contract talks, right? And so good old Dave, he noted that Rollins is going to be out for a while. Now, he did note that it won't be for a long time, so he's not going to be on the shelf for 3 to 6 months, but it's interesting. It's interesting timing because this could play out two different ways. One, I really don't think. You have the draft coming up later this month. You could hold off Seth Rollins' big return until after then, but that's only about 2 to 3 weeks, right? I don't think that happens. I think you hold him off for a month or two. Let him heal up, right? It's a nagging injury. Let him fully heal up, and then you can bring him back. Because if you look at the Monday Night Raw landscape right now, do they need him necessarily? Not really, right? Like, he can take some time off. He's been such a workhorse for this company. I don't think people understand how much time, how much effort, how much punishment Seth Rollins has gone through, put on his body during the last year or so as a world champion. Because when Triple H initially came out and he created the world title again, and Seth Rollins, beat AJ Styles in the finals of the tournament, Triple H noted that this was going to be the workhorse title. Cody Rhodes took this mindset. Seth Rollins took this mindset. Drew McIntyre took this mindset of like, okay, we're going to work all the house shows because, nowadays house shows, they're combined. So instead of having a Raw live event and a SmackDown live event, you have a Raw and SmackDown live event. And the reason they did that a few years ago, especially coming out of the pandemic, because before the pandemic, they were like, house shows don't draw, we lose money, and what is the point of this? To the point where they consider just nixing live events altogether or greatly reducing them as well. Like the days of having separate house shows for the main roster, well, they're far, far away. And I don't think they come back. But you had this title created for these guys who work horses for the company because Roman Reigns, then undisputed WWE Universal Champion, he wasn't working house shows and he wasn't making all the towns. So they made this title, and Seth Rollins put that on his back, and he carried that going forward. And I think he did a phenomenal job at that, and he should be praised for that. And now he's going to take a minute, he's going to step back, and he's going to heal up, and he's going to come back better than ever. And I think it's going to be great. And it'll be interesting to see what they do because they set up so many different things for Drew McIntyre at Mania, right? Whether it's Damian Priest, whether it's CM Punk, you could go back to Seth Rollins. Personally, I think Seth will go in a different direction. And I would like to see him go to SmackDown because you have a built-in babyface in Cody Rhodes. But we'll see. Well, Cody Rhodes is going to be on SmackDown for now. He's going to work both shows because you have Damian Priest as world champion. But like what they do coming out of the draft is going to be very, very interesting. Let me know down in the comments here below. What do you think about WWE's direction for Seth Rollins coming out of Mania?